Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Three Koi Fishes channel. I'm your host, Joy, and today we're diving into a topic that every new parent becomes intimately familiar with: baby poop. It might not be the most glamorous conversation, but understanding what's normal and what's not in your baby's diaper can provide invaluable insights into their health and well-being.
Absolutely, Joy. I'm Sophie, and I remember obsessively checking every single diaper with my little ones. It's like a secret code you're trying to decipher, and it tells you so much.
And I'm Jocelyn, still pretty new to this. My son Leo is 3 months old, and honestly, his diapers are a constant source of fascination and a little bit of anxiety. Is this color okay? Is this normal for formula fed babies?
Jocelyn, you're definitely not alone. Every new parent has these questions. That's why we're here to break it all down. We'll be covering the rainbow of colors, the variety of textures, what's considered a typical frequency, and even the smell factor. So, let's get right into it. Sophie, let's start with the first thing that often catches a new parent's eye: the color. What are some of the common colors we might see in a baby's diaper?
Well, the color of baby poop changes quite a bit, especially in the early days. Meconium. For the first day or two, you'll likely see meconium. This is a thick, black, tarry substance. It's the stool that built up in the baby's intestines before birth. It's a good sign when you see this transitioning out. Transitional stools. Over the next few days, the poop will likely transition to a greenish black or dark green color, sometimes with a slightly looser consistency. These are called transitional stools. Yellow mustard seed. Once breastfeeding is well established or your baby is solely on formula, you'll often see a yellow or mustard seed colored poop. For breastfed babies, it's usually a loose, sometimes seedy consistency and can range from pale yellow to bright yellow. Tan, light brown. For formula fed babies, the color tends to be more tan or light brown, and the consistency can be a bit firmer than breastfed baby poop.
Okay, Leo's definitely past the black stage. He's mostly in the yellow mustard range. That's reassuring, but sometimes it looks a little green. Should I be worried?
That's a great question, Jocelyn. Green can definitely cause some panic. Sophie, what's the deal with green baby poop, and how can dietary impacts or medications play a role?
Green poop can have a few different causes. Dietary impact. For breastfed babies, sometimes what mom eats can influence stool color. For instance, consuming a lot of leafy green vegetables, certain food dyes, or even sensitivities to foods like dairy in the breastfeeding parent's diet might lead to greenish stools. 4. Hind milk imbalance. If a breastfed baby gets a lot of fore milk, the milk at the beginning of a feed, higher in lactose, and not enough hind milk, the richer, fattier milk at the end, it can sometimes result in green, frothy stools. Formula. Certain formulas can lead to green stools. Medication. This is often overlooked. Some vitamins or medications, like iron supplements, commonly make baby poop darker green or even black. It's a temporary, harmless change. Temporary digestive issue. Occasionally, a temporary digestive upset can cause green poop.
So, it's not always a red flag. When should parents be concerned about green poop?
If the green poop is accompanied by other signs like fever, vomiting, blood in the stool, or if your baby seems fussy and uncomfortable, then it's definitely worth checking in with your pediatrician. But isolated green poop in an otherwise happy and healthy baby is often not a cause for major concern.
That makes me feel better. What about other colors? Are there any that are definite warning signs?
Yes, there are a few colors that warrant a call to your pediatrician. Red. Red streaks or significant amounts of blood in the stool are not normal and should be checked out. It could be due to something minor like a tiny anal fissure, but it could also indicate something more serious. White or clay colored, pale white or clay colored stools can indicate a problem with bile production in the liver and should be evaluated by a doctor immediately. Black, after the meconium stage. If your baby's poop suddenly turns black again after the first few days and they aren't taking iron supplements, it could indicate digested blood in the stool and needs medical attention.
Those are really important color cues to remember. Now, let's move on to consistency. Jocelyn, what kind of textures have you noticed with Leo's poop, and what about the smell factor?
Mostly pretty soft, sometimes a bit runny, especially after a big feed. Occasionally it seems a little thicker, and yes, the smell, it definitely varies.
That's very typical. The consistency of baby poop varies depending on whether they are breastfed or formula fed. For breastfed babies, as we mentioned, it's usually quite loose, often described as runny or pasty, and can contain little seed-like flecks. It's generally quite soft and easy to pass. The smell is usually mild and somewhat sweet, not very foul. As for formula-fed babies, it tends to be a bit firmer than breastfed poop, more like a paste or soft-formed stool. It shouldn't be hard pellets. And yes, formula-fed stools generally have a much stronger, more pungent smell than breastfed ones. This is completely normal due to the different digestive processes.
So, what changes in consistency or smell should worry parents?
Very hard, pellet-like stools. This is a clear sign of constipation and can be very uncomfortable for your baby. Very watery, explosive diarrhea, frequent, very liquid stools can lead to dehydration and should be evaluated, especially if accompanied by fever or vomiting. Mucus in stool. A small amount of mucus occasionally might not be a big deal, but a significant amount or frequent occurrence could indicate an irritation or infection in the intestines. Extreme foul odors. While formula poop smells stronger, an unusually extreme, sickly foul odor, especially if combined with other concerning signs like diarrhea or fever, could indicate digestion issues or infection.
Okay, hard, watery, and really stinky are definitely things to watch out for. What about how often babies poop? That seems to change all the time. And what about hydration and probiotics?
You're right, Jocelyn. Frequency is another big area of variation. Sophie, what's considered normal in terms of how often a new baby should be pooping?
The frequency of bowel movements can vary widely from baby to baby and also changes as they grow. For newborns, in the first few weeks, babies may poop multiple times a day, sometimes after every feeding. For breastfed babies, once breastfeeding is established, some breastfed babies may still poop several times a day, while others might go several days, even up to a week, between bowel movements. As long as the stool is soft when it does come and the baby seems comfortable and is feeding well, this can be normal. Breast milk is very easily digested. For formula-fed babies, formula-fed babies tend to poop more regularly than some breastfed babies, usually at least once a day.
And how does hydration impact all of this, especially consistency?
Hydration is key for healthy digestion. Dehydration can definitely lead to constipation because there isn't enough fluid to soften the stool. So, ensuring your baby gets adequate milk, breast milk or formula, is crucial. For breastfeeding parents, staying well hydrated yourself is also important for maintaining your milk supply, which in turn ensures your baby's hydration.
That makes perfect sense. So, are there any other things like probiotics that can influence their little digestive systems?
That's a great question, Jocelyn. Yes, some parents and pediatricians find probiotic drops or formulas that include probiotics helpful for supporting gut health and reducing digestive discomfort, which can sometimes influence poop consistency and frequency. However, it is absolutely crucial to consult your pediatrician before giving your baby any supplements. They can advise if it's appropriate for your baby and which specific strain, if any, to use. Never self medicate.
So, the range of normal is quite broad. When should parents be concerned about the frequency?
Look for sudden decrease in frequency with hard stools. If your baby suddenly starts pooping much less frequently and the stools are hard, or if they seem uncomfortable and straining without result, it could indicate constipation. If you observe very frequent, watery stools, as we mentioned before, this could be diarrhea. As for situations where your baby hasn't pooped in several days and is also showing signs of discomfort, poor feeding, or a distended belly, it's best to check with their doctor.
This has been so helpful. I feel much more confident now about what to look for in Leo's diapers, and all these extra tips are amazing.
That's exactly what we hoped for. Remember, every baby is unique, and there can be variations within the normal range. The most important thing is to get to know what's typical for your baby.
And always trust your instincts. If something just doesn't seem right, or if you have any concerns about your baby's poop, don't hesitate to reach out to your pediatrician. It's always better to err on the side of caution.
Absolutely. Your pediatrician is your best resource for any health-related questions. Thank you so much, Sophie and Jocelyn, for sharing your wisdom and experiences today. Remember, new parents, you're doing an amazing job. We've added helpful links in the description below, including one with actual baby poop pictures to give you a clear idea of what to look for. Pay attention to those diapers. They tell a story. What's the weirdest baby poop story you have? Share it in the comments. If you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to 3 Koi Fishes for more honest and helpful parenting insights. We'll see you in the next video.